So I am camera shy, and I know I say this other time, I got this preteen and this teenager. I'm gonna tell you what happened last night. We are watching, it's a show, right? But they're no longer interested in Disney movies, animated only. They're ready to, get into, whatever is next. I'm like, okay, we're going to do the PG. Parental guidance. I'm here. I got time for it today. We're watching a show. I don't want to drop the name of it, but we're watching a show. Okay? It starts out. The girl, and parental guidance. I'm going to tell you what happened. The girl is being introduced to her new environment. As she's coming in, somebody calls somebody else. They yell out, "Cocksucker!" And I'm like, no. I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm telling my kids, I am so sorry. And they're like, it's okay, Mom. It's okay. We're okay. We're fine. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. We'll just proceed. Here come our 11-year-old. But Mom, what's a cocksucker? And I was like, son, we're going to table this. We'll just discuss it with Daddy, okay? And he was like, okay. All right. So we're going to table it. As time rolls on, I'm not paying attention. That's what happened. If you're going parental guidance, normally I'm sitting with the mute, right? I got my hand on the mute button, and I tell them at the drop, if I tell y'all to turn your heads, or, because when we was kids, like, we couldn't watch people like kissing and stuff like that. Like, anytime somebody starts smooching, I let them see smooching, because it's natural, and to shield them from everything is how you create secrets and monsters, and I should say invitations for monsters. The things that you shield them from completely are going to find them. That's just how it goes. Okay, wisdom, we done figured it out. Boom. So the occasional smooch, or even sometimes progression of the smooch, I don't sweat all that hard, right? Okay, cool, boom, we rolling. I get up to go into the kitchen to get the baby situated. The baby is fussing. She needs, her next little meal. The one girl asked the other girl in the show, well, what's a cocksucker? I said, where is the remote? Why didn't I bring it with me? Now I'm panicking, because now here comes the explanation. They can't find the remote. I don't know what I did. I had it. She explains it. I said, well, here you go. Now y'all have to find out what it is. So they sit and they listen. They was like, oh, dang. I was like, well, now you know. See, I learned stuff in public school. So, granted, I am grateful to be here with them when they're learning these, because it's coming. They're gonna know. They're gonna know. They find out what it is last night. Okay. All right. Well, now y'all know. And we're here. It wasn't scary. Nobody's in trouble. It's just what it is. You're gonna find it out. Okay. We moving on. Today, Emmanuel, now this is what I'm saying. This is back to back, but that's the phase that we're in right now. Today, Manny comes and says, Mom, is it hot enough outside for me and Jeremiah to get wet with the hose? And at first I was like, let me open the window to see, because, last week we were outside. I was letting them sprinkle a little bit, but then it got, the weather has been back and forth, up and down. I don't want them to get sick. So I was like, let me go check the window to see how warm it is. Mahalia is cracking up, and I'm looking at her like, what you laughing at? And so then I'm like, it sounded to her like Emmanuel said, Ma, can me and Puppy go outside and get wet with the hose? And I'm like, I said, so then now they both laughing. They telling jokes. And then I said, wait, how do y'all know what hoes is? They was like, dead silence. They was like, from the Bible? I said, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Haley's like, yeah, but it's spelled with a W. I said, well, there's some extra letters in there, but that was a good save. That was a good save. The fact of the matter is, they're gonna know. Our children are going to know. As parents, it is our job to, I tell my kids all the time, it is my job to curate the information that you take in. I'm not going to be there for everything, but for the small things that I can help you to grasp and help your mind to conceptualize now, that's my job. I have to. It's uncomfortable. It's embarrassing, but it has to be done. And the time is now, you know. It's better that I tell you these things and that you become comfortable with them in front of me than somebody else telling you. Than for you to just find out where I'm not there to help you. I'm not there to protect you. I'm going to tell you what happens. Unfortunately, I don't even want to say that it's a us thing, because it's really everybody. I will say though that it is generational in a sense, in that they find out the wrong way and then they become so afraid to talk to their parents, the children. It blows out of proportion. They tend to hide from you. They tend to, unfortunately, attract contrary to what they have not learned. Right? So if you didn't teach it and somebody else teaches it, they can come along, whoever is teaching this concept to them can come along and abuse your child because we didn't take the time to do the embarrassing discussions, to have the moments that are uncomfortable for everyone, but so needed, so necessary. It's necessary. It's not necessary to shelter them forever. Oh, you can't see kissing. Oh, you can't know what happens between a husband and a wife. And what? Then when that ugly devil comes around and teaches your kid that concept, they will have to live with what they learned from a very unpure place. I'm teaching them from a pure place. I need to let this window down. Yeah, I gotta go. But me teaching them from a pure place is going to beat out the tricks of the enemy. That is how you thwart the plans of the enemy. Like even, I know that there is, let me see how to say this. There are apps, right? Apps within games. Even my Bible app has, ads. That's what I'm trying to say. There are ads. And there's an ad where, I mean, it is so foul. It is so disgusting. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was just like, what? So, when it looped around, they never just show it once. When it looped around, I screen recorded it. And so I shared it to my husband. I showed it to him and I was like, are you seeing this? Like, these ads are being played to our children. Like, they don't pick and choose where they go. They're cast abroad. They're cast out. So I brought my daughter in the room and I showed it to her. I said, look at this. She was disgusted. And I was like, that is the proper response that you should have to this. But if I weren't the one showing this to you, you would hide it from me. You would try to conceal it. And we know age old, that is how it goes. You try to conceal what you're not familiar with. It is my job to teach you these things. She was visually affected by that. It had an absolute effect. But I'd rather be there to support her in that time than for her to have that moment by herself and then try to process it. And then somebody else try to come along and teach it to her in a very foul, in an unclean way, to where she's confused. Now she's got secrets. We are killing generational curse. Stop just saying, oh, we gotta stamp out the generational curse. We gotta kill it. How? You have to head on these generational curses. You have to thwart the plan of the enemy. You have to have a plan for it. It's going to be uncomfortable for everybody, but we all gonna win. We're all winning. Dear younger years, take the time. Do the hard part of actually raising your children. Shalom.